Tonight on News 5 Live, after much public outcry, 2 SOE minors are relocated from the Belize Central Prison. Former Chief Justice Adelai Conte passes away at 79. The Assembly building finally undergoes renovation, and SSB responds to the unions. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize!
Hey there, smart thinkers! We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a Lone Ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Vote for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to Smart Code 5885. Here are this week's contestants.
And we can ride the boogie, share that beat of love. I wanna rock with you all night.
Did you think I lay down and die? No, not I will survive. Oh, as long as I know I'll be loved, I know I stay alive. In a flash, it takes hold of my heart. What a feeling!
She's fresh, exciting. She's so exciting to me. She's fresh,
but they said it really loud. They said it on the air, on the radio. Whoa, on the radio.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday night at 8 for KTV The Remix Season 6. Live, only on 5.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, August 2nd. I am Elise Gayon Vernon. Public outcry following the detention of a 13-year-old boy at the Wagner's Youth Facility under the existing state of emergency has led to the transfer of the teenager to the New Beginnings Youth Center. Along with another 15-year-old boy, he will now receive the care needed for his development. There has been much controversy surrounding his imprisonment, despite police linking the teen to gang activity in his neighborhood. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams went on record earlier this week to justify the arrest and detention of the youth at the Belize Central Prison, much to the disappointment of his fellow attorneys. Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa, along with CEOs in the Ministries of Home Affairs and Human Development, visited the Wagner's Youth Facility, where he spoke with the young detainees about their concerns. Out of that interaction came a request from the teenagers to be included in leadership intervention programs upon their release. The Ministry of Home Affairs, in a statement released earlier today, reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring that the rights of these young individuals are respected regardless of the allegations made against them. This morning, Kampal Williams publicly said that he felt the child should have remained at the Wagners to receive the rehabilitation that he needs. Today, when asked by reporters how he felt about the matter, the Minister of Education disagreed with the commissioner and said he was of the view that the child should have been placed in a different setting from the start.
The 13-year-old should not have been in the Wagner's facility, should not have been in prison. So I'm glad that they have moved him to, I think, the New Beginnings Center is where he is now. I think that was what should have been done in the first place. That is where he should have been sent in the first place. The commissioner is right that there are serious challenges. We see that a phenomenon growing where gangs are targeting these very young people. It's not new, it's not, only in Belize. It's happening all over. They're targeting young people to commit very, very serious crimes. So we have to take it seriously. But I think Belize understands, we in Belize understand that we have, international obligations. We have to make sure that we're respecting the rights of children in particular. So that's critically important, that despite, our understanding and appreciation that these are serious crimes being committed by some very young people, that, we should do everything we can to make sure that we put them in the proper facilities where they can get the support and guidance and assistance that they need.
Do you believe that the Convention of the Rights of a Child were breached in this particular case?
Yeah, I think, I don't think so, because I think, they felt they had him in a separate space. He wasn't among the general population of prisoners. So he was in a separate space, but even so, I'm not comfortable with that. As I said, I'm happy that it took some time, but I'm happy that it's now resolved and that he is where he should have been in the first place.
Former Chief Justice of Belize, Adelai Conte, has passed away. The government of Belize has issued a press release stating that his tenure from 2000 to 2010 was marked by an unwavering dedication to the rule of law, his fidelity to the Constitution of Belize, and his excellent contributions to the country's legal system. In quoting from the release, the government states, quote, "He served Belize with distinction. As an outstanding jurist, he was fair and fearless. Former Chief Justice's leadership brought much needed stability and reform to our judicial system. His tenure was characterized by his commitment to upholding the principles of justice and equality, as well as his modernization of the court system in Belize. His landmark rulings stood the test of time as an example of judicial excellence. Throughout his decade on the bench, former Chief Justice Conte introduced numerous reforms that strengthened the administration of justice in Belize," unquote. The late former CJ implemented in 2005 new judges' rules, Supreme Court rules, and a code of ethics, and established a rigorous system for the delivery and practice of law. Today, former Attorney General Francis Fonseca said that Conte served with great dignity.
Is no stranger to Belizeans. In my view, he served with great dignity, integrity. His legal acumen is highly regarded in our legal community. So we're very, very saddened to hear of his passing. For the decade or so that he served in Belize, he did great service to our jurisdiction and contributed tremendously to the growth of our jurisprudence in Belize. We acknowledge him and we pay respect to his life and his contribution to Belize.
5 decades after it was constructed, the National Assembly building is undergoing some major renovations. As a result, its operations are being relocated to the George Price Center. That is where House and Senate meetings will be taking place for the next 12 months. During that period, the National Assembly building's interior will undergo an entire facelift, valued at 1.9 million Belize dollars. Most of the funds came as a donation from the Republic of China, Taiwan. We spoke with Speaker of the House of Representatives, Valerie Woods, who gave us further insight into the renovation works.
So it's a mixture of making it modernized, making sure it has improved accessibility by way of a lift, an elevator, making sure that we address some of the issues with the electricals and the roofing and so many other things that haven't been attended really for these 5 decades, basically. And so for that to occur properly, it requires everything to be taken out. The structure itself won't be demolished. They're working within and strengthening where they need to strengthen, but at the same time, redo what needs to be redone. So what we intend to do, based on the various consultations that MIDH has had with not only with the users, but also with the technocrats, the engineers and the architects and the electricians and so forth, is to improve that rectangle design, if I could call it that, improve the space for the where the media is, improve the galleries with particular attention, making it accessible, and then also to improve the space for the members, but not necessarily changing the entire design because of the confines of what we have to deal with, unless we were demolishing. In an ideal setting, I'll be honest and frank here, in an ideal setting, it would be great if there were sufficient resources to allow for a complete, if you will, haul over and perhaps even additional buildings. You have to remember that the parliamentary estate, as we know it, that building on the hill, on the Independence Hill, was really built for 18 persons. We're at 31, and with a staff of about 11 or 12.
The much smaller George Price Center will not be able to accommodate a public gallery in the building. Speaker Woods explained that special accommodations will be made for the public and the media. She gave further insight into the proposed layout for House and Senate meetings.
If you've been to the George Price Center, you'd appreciate the limitations there, but it was for practical purposes the most realistic area for us to go to keep expenses down, but at the same time to ensure the function of Parliament is not interrupted. So it won't have space for gallery, but if there is public viewing, the intention is to have it outside under a tent with the digital screen. Inside, we're using mostly I guess you would refer to that as the first floor, not the ground floor. The first floor, which is the main auditorium of the George Price Center, would be what the chamber is. It would have its 2 members room, the chamber, and a small space there for the media. And then on the other side of that, there would be the staff administrative workspace. Downstairs in one remaining meeting room would be what the committee room is for the National Assembly. And then the museum for the Father of the Nation, the Right Honorable George Price, that remains, but that would be George Price, the administrative team of George Price Center. That would be their main quarters, their office, and their continued program for that, but for the year.
Coming up, CEO Deborah Ruiz retires after 42 years at SSB.
I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath." Charles Daniels was one of the greatest friends I ever had. He owned a construction company in Beaumont, Texas, and helped us build churches in Belize. He told me that when he and his wife Lucille married, that they made a covenant with one another to never go to bed at night until they had settled all of their differences. They honored that commitment until his unexpected death. Of course, I heard of another couple who made this commitment after their marriage, and they did not go to sleep for 3 weeks. But seriously, we should bring all of our sins before Christ at the end of each day, confess them, receive forgiveness, and shut the gate on them. This reminds me of a couple of men walking through a field where cows were grazing one day. They were so absorbed in their conversation that they forgot to close the gate that they had walked through. One of the men turned and went back to close the gate. He then related the story of a doctor who was dying and was asked by a minister whether there was anything he wanted to say before he slipped away. "No," the doctor replied, "except that through life I think I have always closed the gates behind me." The dying man had learned to put his sins, his failures, and all of his disappointments behind him. Maybe we all need to learn this lesson today. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added on for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, get the Binge Watchers Bundle with Netflix add-on for only $28.13 more. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
Please, Darasama Theater and Red Stripe present the 15th annual Lucky Dube Tribute and Concert. The Lucky Dube Tribute and Concert to be held at the Big Bird's Isle, Sunday, August 4th from 4 p.m. until. Entertainment includes live DVD performance of Lucky Dube on the big screen. Creek Vibration Band doing a special Lucky Dube tribute. Selectors include the Reggae Kingpin, Tony G, Reggae Dutch, and Mr. Frisco. All backed up by New Wave Sounds.
People dying like flies every day.
Sunday, August 4th, the Lucky Dube Tribute from 4 p.m. until. Entrance fee only $15. Don't forget to purchase your tickets for Dara's House Raffle. Call 623-3662. This you don't want to miss. Sponsors include Creme Radio and XTV, Vibes Media and Television, DigiWallet, Honorable Anthony Mahler and the Belize Tourism Board, Channel 7, Social Security Board, Channel 5, Love FM, Red Stripe, Players Distillery Limited, Campari, and the Angeles Press Limited.
members of the Christian Workers Union have taken to social media to voice frustration with the Social Security Board. On the union's Facebook page, they called for prompt action from the SSB, demanding to meet and form a collective bargaining agreement, CBA, on both parties' terms. Over the past week, members have also worn a black ribbon to signify a sense of loss and disappointment. Today, we spoke with CEO Deborah Ruiz, who says the board and the CWU will be meeting today to discuss the matter. However, as far as she is aware, the board has not acted against standard protocol.
Well, I am to meet with the union today to find out exactly what is the issue, because honestly, I don't know what the issue is. We did have an agreement signed last year, December, you may recall. So I do have a meeting this afternoon to find out exactly, because as far as management is concerned, we have no breach of any agreement. So I want to get a clear understanding what exactly is their issue. They may not agree with certain management decisions, but that is not a breach of the CBA. So I just want clarity, and we are going to speak to that this afternoon.
May have to do with the issue we saw, I think, earlier in this year, maybe late last year, pertaining to one employee who they said the union, the SSB didn't move in accordance with time or something like that.
As far as I know, that is not one of the issues that was put forward on the table for me to discuss today. So I'm not aware that is an issue for them.
So it's that there is a CBA in place, but it seems that the union is somewhat saying that SSB has breached that CBA?
That is what I understand they have been saying on their Facebook page. They have not approached management with that breach, as they say. I have not seen any breach.
On July 24th, the National Trade Union Congress of Belize issued a letter to the Social Security Board voicing complaints on several matters. These concerns consisted of the decision to employ a deputy CEO without informing the NTUCB. In the letter, the union also maintains that the SSB has consistently excluded the NTUCB from important decision-making processes. Shortly after, the SSB issued a response to the union, maintaining that the board has adhered to the protocol in these instances.
I think the letters are clear. I don't know what else to say about that. That's their perspective. We follow the guidelines as to how matters are tabled before the board, and the board, in their wisdom, as a unit, cast their vote. They are given opportunity to weigh in, and the majority, per the regulations, is what decides on a vote.
Do you think that may have signaled that there was some sort of underlying turbulence within the relationship between the union and SSB?
I have never seen that. Our board has worked particularly well together. So, no, I don't know what, So that is a matter that we have an open board, and I'm sure the matter will be discussed further.
Last month, the Ministry of Health and Wellness recorded a slight increase in the number of COVID cases in Belize. While the virus has resurfaced, the ministry stressed that there has not yet been a need for an official caution. Additionally, respiratory illnesses have also been on the rise. Today, CEO Deborah Ruiz said that the board has recorded an increase in respiratory diseases.
We don't necessarily see an increase in COVID. We do see respiratory diseases, and it could very well be because persons are not going to the hospital to get tested or using the homemade kits. But yes, there are increases in the respiratory, but not COVID or post-COVID times. Not a significant increase per se.
When did you see this uptick, or when was it noticed?
We monitor cases on a monthly basis. So in terms of what I report to the board, we will look at the top 10 diagnoses, and there's always respiratory infection that is high on the list, apart from hypertension and the other.
So that has been so far per the year?
Yes.
After 42 years at the Social Security Board, Chief Executive Officer Deborah Ruiz is stepping down from her post. Ruiz has served as CEO since 2022, but has chosen not to renew her contract this year. We spoke with her today who explained the decision to retire. She also informed us when the new CEO will be announced. Here's more on that.
I feel good. Yes, my term has come to an end, so you could consider it my official retirement. I decided not to renew to take care of myself. I have served the organization 42 years. I started out as a temporary clerk and have reached to the CEO level. And I just think it's time for me to take care of me for a bit. And so I decided not to renew and go into my own pursuits at this time.
If you have any word in terms of your replacement?
Please come to the Connect next week, and the announcement will be made next week.
After the break, do you know what it takes to become a practicing doctor in Belize? But first, here's the weather update with data from the National Meteorological Service.
Belize City Chicken Express, with spacious parking and air conditioning, has the widest variety of delicious chicken dishes to satisfy your every craving. You've been asking, and we heard you. Our Belize City branch is now open until 8 p.m. Chicken Express, with the unique taste of quality chicken.
There's no need to travel far when there's so much beauty here in Belize. Moyuna Resorts invite you to plan a staycation with a special discount at Sweet Sounds Jungle Lodge, the Watermark Belize Hotel, and Hopkins Bay Resort. Escape to paradise with 15% off local rates for multi-bed or multi-bedroom units through August 31st. Enjoy the mountains of San Ignacio, island life on Umbergrisky, or the calm coast of Hopkins. Give us a WhatsApp text at 671-4977 to book your stay. That's 671-4977 for this exclusive Belizean offer.
Attention Digi customers! Being a Digi customer is now even more rewarding with our new DigiPoints loyalty and rewards app. Digi customers countrywide can now earn Digi loyalty points and redeem points for awesome prizes like Digi merch, Digi cash, Digi services, vouchers, coupons, and more. Use your points to play fun games and win even more amazing prizes. You can be one of our daily winners. Excited? You should be. Download and register for DigiPoints and begin to earn points and win today. Available in your favorite app store.
Vote for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to Smart Code 5885. Here are this week's contestants.
And we can ride the boogie, share that beat of love. I wanna rock with you all night.
Did you think I lay down and die? No, not I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I stay alive. In a flash, it takes hold of my heart. What a feeling!
She's fresh, exciting. She's so exciting to me. She's fresh.
But they said it really loud. They said it on the air, on the radio. Whoa, on the radio.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday night at 8 for KTV The Remix Season 6. Live, only on 5.
The Elections and Boundaries Department presents the following information on transfer of electors. Transfer of electors is conducted during the period 1st July to 31st August of each year. In accordance with Section 59(1) of the General Provisions of the Representation of the People Act, Chapter 9, where a registered person changes his place of residence from one division to another, he shall, after he has resided for a minimum period of 2 months at his new address, give written notice thereof in Form 17 of the 5th Schedule to the registering officer of the division in which he now resides. Therefore, electors who have changed addresses from one electoral division to another shall visit the Elections and Boundaries Registration Office in their new division to apply for transfer. To facilitate the process, electors are encouraged to bring along a picture ID such as voter's identification card, social security card, driver's license, or passport. The Elections and Boundaries Department takes this opportunity to encourage persons who have attained the age of 18 years or over and others who have not yet re-registered since 2nd July 2018 to visit the Elections and Boundaries Registration Office in the electoral division where they reside and apply to be registered. To become a registered elector, every person shall be 18 years of age or over and is a citizen of Belize or is a citizen of any Commonwealth country who has ordinarily resided in Belize for a period of not less than 12 months and is a resident for a period of not less than 2 months in the electoral division in which he seeks registration.
Remember, you have a civic duty to ensure that you are registered in the electoral division where you reside. This message is brought to you by the Elections and Boundaries Department.
Working in the healthcare sector as a medical doctor can be very challenging, especially in Belize where resources are sometimes very scarce. So, when medical students return home after spending 5 years or more receiving their academic certification, they must undergo a sort of indoctrination into Belize's healthcare system. The proper term is medical internship or residency. Any medical doctor wanting to practice in Belize must participate in the Ministry of Health and Wellness's 1-year medical internship program. Upon completion of the project, they receive their license to practice medicine in Belize. Today, News 5's Paul Lopez visited the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital to find out more about how the program is contributing to the improvement of healthcare services in Belize. Here is that report.
700 staff members work within the four walls of the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital. KHMH has the largest population of employees under one roof in the country. This is where doctors who desire to practice in Belize do their internship or residency to receive their medical license.
It has been a building process.
We get to practice a lot of procedures, we get to be in surgeries, we get a lot of hands-on experience.
It's just as important as the theoretical part because you can know the theory, but if you don't know how to do what you need to do, then that's the difference between saving a person and causing more harm.
John Waite has been the coordinator of the Ministry of Health and Wellness's medical internship program since its inception just over a decade ago. 182 interns have completed the program under his tutelage. That is just over 30% of 563 medical doctors that are currently licensed to practice in Belize.
It is a period of further training which is designed to prepare the recently graduated medical doctor for safe and independent practice in the nation of Belize. The emphasis being in Belize because medicine does vary a little bit or more than a little bit from place to place. And the idea is to prepare these doctors who've completed their university degree for safe, that they do no harm, as is the idea, and we aim to do good, and independent, in other words, when they go through the door, they're on their own, and can function as a medical officer, for example, in the public service, or they can work as a primary care doctor in one of the NHI clinics, or they can even open their own private practice and see patients.
Doctors Gerald Castillo and Alia Abraham underwent their studies in Cuba, while Jean-Marie Young studied in the Republic of Georgia. As they explained, students within these institutions received limited hands-on clinical experience, partially because of how advanced and well-staffed healthcare facilities are within these countries. So, they returned to Belize with a wealth of knowledge, and the medical internship program steps in to provide additional experience under strict supervision.
For there, the different patients, we don't even see them because they go straight to the specialist clinic. But here, we are the ones that have to see those patients and manage and treat. So with that, it has been a great experience to know how Belize does management for those patients.
What does it do for your confidence as a doctor?
Oh, it skyrockets it.
There are 4 major services in the hospital: the medicine, surgery, obstetrics, and pediatrics, and they spend 3 months in each. The medical service includes a short stay in emergency medicine and accident and emergency. And then the surgical one is divided in between orthopedic surgery and general surgery. Obstetrics is obstetrics, and the pediatric service includes the neonatal intensive care unit. What do? When assigned to the given service, they are the primary doctors dealing with the patients.
One would consider, all right, if you study overseas, perhaps we are unequipped to expose them to that level of experience and training.
Well, you've hit a chord. When I came back here a long time ago, my supervisor said, "John, you will do well in Belize because you can improvise." Well, we've made strides. It's not quite like that, but at times you just have to improvise. That is one thing.
62% of Waite's interns over the past 12 years are now working in the public service. Others are out undertaking postgraduate training in clinical specialties. Undoubtedly, the internship program is making a significant contribution to the delivery of medical care in Belize. Notably, 7 of the current cohort of interns are women and only 3 are men. According to Waite, there has been a gradual decline in the number of male medical practitioners across the world. Dr. Jean-Marie Young shared her thoughts on why this may be the case.
I would think it has more to do with the social aspect of the country, maybe how women are being pushed more to get an education, to be more independent, versus men. Maybe men have more pressure to sustain their families from a very early age. I think there is a lot more socioeconomic factors relating to that.
Each of these doctors have a different story on how life led them to engage the field in which they are currently employed. But in speaking with them, they all shared a similar vision to improve the healthcare system in Belize. This is evident in Dr. Alia Abraham, the first medical practitioner in her family.
Sometimes they tend to say that it's mostly the nurses that are more compassionate towards them.
How much pride do you take in compassion?
A lot, because that's when you find that your patients would find they would be more free with the information that they have to offer, and then it could help to lead you more to be able to diagnose and help treat them.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro has claimed another victory at the polls, securing another 6 years in office as president. If this is so, Maduro defeated his main opponent by 7 percentage points in a vote that was marred by widespread irregularities. But the opposition is saying that Maduro clearly lost the elections, demanding an audit of the exercise. Now 7 regional countries have called for that audit, and while there was a resolution at the OAS following the elections, Belize abstained. Minister of Foreign Affairs says Belize wants more information on the election results before it can have a position on who is the new president.
There was a resolution that was proposed before the Organization of American States. Belize abstained in terms of that resolution because we really want to get more information. We're not satisfied that we've been provided with sufficient reliable information. So we join with those who are saying we need more transparency. We need more information provided, more data provided. So far, the Venezuelan government has said that they will provide that data and information. We expect them to do so. So we are prepared to wait for that to be done, a reasonable time period. But again, when we're dealing with these issues, we have always found in Belize that it's best for us to work through the organizations that we belong to, like CARICOM and SICA. So, you know, we've discussed this matter at the CARICOM level, not yet at SICA, but at the CARICOM level, we've discussed this matter. Obviously, there are different points of view, but the great majority of the CARICOM countries abstained in terms of that resolution for the very reason I stated, that they need to see more information. They need to have more data presented to them. We are absolutely committed in CARICOM and as Belize to ensuring that there are free and fair elections in Venezuela. That's critically important.
The CARICOM Heads of Government meeting that took place at the end of July gave support to Cuba and the deteriorating humanitarian situation in that country. CARICOM pointed to the embargo it believes was wrongly imposed on Cuba and reiterated its call for the lifting of what it calls the unjust unilateral financial, economic, and trade embargo. Today, Minister of Foreign Affairs Francis Fonseca expounded on that position.
We're doing it as a region, so we haven't broken down exactly, you know, who will do what. But again, you know, Cuba is going through a very, very difficult time. Not only are they dealing with an unjust economic blockade, but now on top of that, they're dealing with, you know, a designation as a state sponsor of terrorism, which is completely without basis, without evidence, without foundation. So it's absolutely crippling for the Cuban economy and also, you know, absolutely very, very, very difficult for the Cuban people. So all of CARICOM felt that we needed to provide support to our brothers and sisters in Cuba. Belize has consistently supported our friends in Cuba in any way we can. And again, through this new mechanism that CARICOM has put in place, we will do so again.
When we return, 80 students across Belize awarded SSB scholarship.
Hurricanes can be devastating, but knowing your risk can make a difference. Take time to assess your home's construction and location. Is it in a flood zone? Can it withstand strong winds? Preparing now saves headaches later. Contact us for a personalized risk assessment. Remember, it pays to get it right with RFNG Insurance, a Row Group company.
We all know about the phasing out of single-use plastics and the enactment of pollution from the plastics regulations. One of the key components in this regulation states that for an item to be considered biodegradable, it must consist of more than 50% of bio-based content. Here, you will find out how the Department of the Environment determines what items meet the criteria and what equipment is being used to guide that process.
Since 2019, the Department of the Environment has been working with CIFAS in doing microplastics. Through this project, CIFAS has donated 2 microscope Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy equipment to strengthen capacities on monitoring and enforcement to reduce marine litter and plastic pollution. The FTIR can be used to identify unknown materials. The Department of the Environment will use the equipment to determine the composition of single-use plastics and biodegradable products to enforce the environmental protection, pollution from plastics regulations.
While we have a long way to go with the implementation of the pollution from plastics regulation, having this equipment is one step closer. For more information on what's being done about biodegradables and ways you can help, visit our website at www.doe.gov.bz.
Over $500,000 can be yours. Yes, $525,025 can be won with a single $2 Mega Bingo ticket. So get yours and catch a live show Saturday, August 3rd, airing on Channel 5 and Love FM at 8 p.m. Or watch it live on Facebook or YouTube. Just log in and search for Belize Mega Bingo. Make sure you don't miss your chance to win over $500,000. The jackpot is waiting and it can change your life. And remember, Mega Bingo is the game.
Upcoming enhancements to My Social Security. The new healthcare provider features seamlessly connects healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers to facilitate the payment of sickness benefits. Here are the enhancements. Registered healthcare providers will create and submit online medical certificates using their healthcare provider accounts. Insured persons will receive a link to view the medical certificate to complete and submit their sickness benefit claim. And employers will receive an email notification of their employee's sickness claim. Also, the insured person and their employer will receive a copy of the claim decision letter after review. Healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers are encouraged to create a portal account to access and benefit from these new services on My Social Security at ssbportal.org.bz. My Social Security online portal. Social Security at your fingertips.
Classes will be back in session soon, and 80 students from across the country are returning with the security of knowing that their tuition is covered. Today, the Social Security Board hosted its annual scholarship ceremony, where students from high school, college, and vocational technical schools gathered at the Biltmore Plaza to receive their awards. These scholarships benefit children with financial need and have shown dedication to their studies. News 5 Brittany Gordon attended the ceremony today to meet some of the happy recipients. Here's that story.
Every parent wishes for their child to have access to the best education possible, but it is an unfortunate reality that many struggle with affording the cost of tuition, amongst other bills and responsibilities. For 80 students across the country, that burden just got a little lighter after receiving the annual Social Security Board scholarship.
Honestly, I was pretty ecstatic because it releases a burden off of my grandmother, We aren't that most, rich family, as people would say. So it really helps us a lot and helps me to further pursue my goals and aspirations in the future.
The SSB has been granting the children of Belize scholarships since 2001. Since then, over 1,000 primary and secondary school students have benefited from the award. This year, 212 candidates applied to receive either associates, bachelor's, or vocational technical scholarships. CEO Deborah Ruiz says that it is a highly competitive opportunity.
We look at the deserving, that persons who are struggling to meet their day-to-day commitments and are able to still maintain that enthusiasm, and we see the grade and the effort is there that they will do well in school.
23-year-old Fernando Landero is studying to become a chef in San Ignacio town and is balancing school and work simultaneously. He is grateful for the opportunity.
I'm currently focusing on that. I'm doing school and work, so it's a challenge, but at the same time, I'm trying to focus a lot more on school so that I get this done.
Would you say this is a life-changing experience for you?
It actually is, and I believe it's also for many of us that receive the scholarship, because at times we struggle as young adults, and whenever these opportunities come, we do have to take advantages of it.
Ruiz explains that the board tries its best to ensure that recipients are selected from across the country. 14-year-old Laura Davis wants to be a lawyer, and now, with the scholarship, she is one step closer to achieving that dream. She will be attending Our Lady of Guadalupe High School in Belmopan.
My mom was happy to receive for me to get a scholarship because she wasn't gonna know how she was gonna pay for it, but I'm glad I got this scholarship so she doesn't have to worry.
The scholars left the award ceremony with a feeling of pride, having earned the award, and parents a sense of security, knowing their child would be able to receive the education they deserve.
How has the reception been from them when they heard that you were going to be receiving the scholarship?
They're more happy than me, my grandmother included. She was, I don't even know how to describe it, but it was really wonderful finding that out.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
The Belize Council for the Visually Impaired and the Lions Club of Belize have been around for decades, assisting individuals with visual challenges. Today, the two entities joined hands to open a new rehabilitation center. The expansion is located at the BCVI building on Princess Margaret Drive in Belize City. News 5's Marian Ali was there and filed this report.
Today's unveiling of the Lions BCVI National Eye Clinic and Rehabilitation Project by Minister of Education Francis Fonseca and the Lions President Adelai formalizes the expanded services that the Belize Council for the Visually Impaired offers the public to improve the quality of their lives.
The purpose of this building is where they will do the tertiary care of eye care, where they do the rehabilitation of those people who have been considered blind. Now you have those people affected by diabetes, and so they're also getting additional surgeries that they could deal with that cause.
Gilberto Alcocer, Regional Coordinator for Lions in Central America, explained through translator assistance how countries receive the monies for these types of projects.
What we have is the Lions Club International Foundation that has money to provide these types of services that we're doing here in Belize. As a matter of fact, Belize is the only country that has this special unit that we're opening today.
Minister of Education Francis Fonseca said that what the BCVI and the Lions Club are doing aligns with what the Ministry of Education is doing in terms of special education and inclusion for students.
What they're doing here aligns fully with the work that we're doing in the Ministry of Education in terms of special education, inclusion, making sure that there are opportunities for people with visual impairment. It's in line with the disabilities bill that we passed very recently in the National Assembly. So, it's an exciting project. I want to, of course, pay tribute to both organizations.
Fonseca said that the government, through the Ministry of Health, also contributed to the project. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
On Thursday, Belize celebrated the 186th anniversary of Emancipation, paying tribute to the thousands of Africans who were kidnapped and brought to Belize, where they were abused for over 200 years. As a part of the freedom celebrations, Belizeans gathered to participate in the annual Iba Town Festival in Belize City. This cultural festival was filled with music, food, and communion as the public gathered to celebrate their freedom. However, countries within the Caribbean impacted by slavery seek to remind these countries responsible for the Atlantic slave trade that their efforts to right their wrongs do not stop at freedom. For years, Caribbean nations have made calls for reparations. Today, Francis Fonseca, Minister of Foreign Affairs, provided some insight into the work being done to acquire these reparations.
We had a very good report from two of the commissioners, and so there's a lot of work taking place very quietly, and so yes, our commission is operating, but again, there needs to be, what was very clear from the meeting was that there needs to be a lot more engagement regionally, so all of the commissions have to be engaged and dialoguing with each other. Not enough of that is taking place. But there's a lot of good work taking place on that issue. And the representatives who were there felt that, with the new Labour government in the UK, they felt that there was an opportunity for a more fast-tracked approach on this issue. So there is some hope and optimism that we can discuss this issue in more detail. In the weeks and months ahead.
Up next, BPA joins Coast Guard and BDF to teach swimming.
To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heavens. This is the time for us to stay the course and fight for the people of Belize under the steadfast and courageous leadership of the United Democratic Party.
The Honorable Shine Barrow, who has taken the party at its helm and has held with regardless of all that has been thrown at the party and at him, has been able to take the party forward. We have a very well-groomed set of individuals who are ready to take the stand and be able to represent the people at the capacity that's needed.
What it really takes to form government, we need to be able to deliver 16 seats, ensuring that we are getting things right, ensuring that those who are standard bearers are building a very authentic relationship and are consistent in meeting the needs of their constituents.
We want to bring drastic change for the betterment of health, education, social welfare, and so it's about putting the people first. It's not about me, it's not about the UDP, it's about the people.
About bringing down the oppressive cost of living, about restoring social assistance for the masses, about providing opportunity for all. To achieve this, the UDP must remain focused and united. Belize is always better with the United Democratic Party.
Vote for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to Smart Code 5885. Here are this week's contestants.
And we can ride the boogie, share that beat of love. I wanna rock with you all night.
Did you think I lay down and die? No, not I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I stay alive. In a flash, it takes hold of my heart. What a feeling!
She's fresh, exciting. She's so exciting to me. She's fresh,
but they said it really loud. They said it on the air, on the radio. Whoa, on the radio.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday night at 8 for KTV The Remix Season 6. Live, only on 5.
Remember, not all light bulbs are created equal. Our lighting department offers a wide assortment of light fixtures and accessories to suit your style. So stop in today and get the right illumination for your homecation. And don't forget your B-Box when you make a purchase. Benny's, quality and savings.
this plan. I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't let this plan. I can't let this plan.
Belize National Teachers Union, Punta Gorda branch, will hold an all-day expo on Saturday in the downtown area. According to Secretary of BNTU, PG branch, Iona Chantel Ramirez, there will be an opportunity for teachers, students, and everyone in education to address their concerns at the event. It takes place on Jose Maria Nunez Street, starting from 9 to 3.
The expo then is then geared towards teachers, students, parents, and the Toledo district in general. But one of the things that we have done is that we're bringing the BNTU National Executive Officer, National Executive Secretary, sorry. And she will be dealing with whatever grievances, because, right before school begins, we have some serious grievances. And then we're also bringing our supervisor, who is Sister Keisha Caetano, who will also be discussing loans and other things that BNTU can offer. In addition, we're bringing the PCC. And the PCC brings with it Dickie Bradley. And so we are bringing everything for teachers to be able to be back in the classroom and be comfortable.
This past week, 22 students from Belize City took part in free swimming lessons. The event was organized by the Belize Port Authority, which teamed up with the Belize Defense Force and the Belize Coast Guard. The lessons took place at the YWCA swimming pool on St. Thomas Street, and today, the children received their certificates of completion. Acting Ports Commissioner Kaylon Young told News 5 that they decided on a maritime activity since it is not taught in the regular school setting. And Coast Guard training officer told us about the different components of the training.
Belize Port Authority, along with the Belize Coast Guard and the Belize Defense Force, we developed a curriculum for a summer camp, and we planned the entire thing collaboratively, and so we've executed it at several different locations, and this is just one of them. Things that teach them seamanship, things that if they go to sea, if they want to be a fisherman, if they want to be a boat captain, if they want to work on board a ship, just to get them excited about the maritime field.
The Coast Guard assisted with an instructor. The instructor was part of the entire week, and they did basic knots and ties, basic CPR. They learn about safety at sea and those things that the kids should know. Everybody should know the basics of maritime safety. And one of the things that you teach the kids is how to breathe, how to do bubbles, and depending on their level, depending on the level that they are in terms of swimming, then you would be able to better teach them. And if you see, most of the kids are with what we call noodles, and that's what they use if they're just starting to swim, and teach them different techniques.
The children who participated in the event ranged in ages from 6 to 10. And today, when they received their certificates of completion, they were all smiles. 4 of them were even excited to share with News 5 what they learned from the program during the week.
What you may like the most about your swimming training?
The freestyle.
Why?
Because we get to play around in the pool.
Okay. So if you never come at this, what you may do? If you never take this swimming, you may who?
They watch TV. What I'm going to do is CPR. I never really get a chance, but I'm going to watch everybody do it. It may look easy, but yeah. No, I don't really know, but because I never try or nothing.
Yeah, so it could have been something where maybe you could have do, you think?
Yes, I couldn't do it.
Okay, good. And then in terms of the swimming techniques, like how you do your hand and how you flap your foot, you learn to do all of that good?
Yes, Mom. We learn was side stroke and what else? We learn doggy paddle.
Yeah.
And we learn
blow bubbles.
Blow bubbles.
If I in a danger, I could swim from the danger.
Okay.
And I not drown.
Were you afraid before now?
Yes, Mom.
So,
I never walk out. I'm afraid because I never know if I'm going to fit in with the people that were around me.
Okay.
So I'm afraid, and then I never walk out. But then my mom make I go. I know it's fun.
And how when you get in the water? You forget all of it.
I forget everything.
I like CPR. I like learning the CPR.
Any particular reason why?
Yes, because if my family ever gets hurt and they're unconscious, I can help save them. I've always liked swimming, fishing, hunting. It's my type of thing.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com on both our Facebook and YouTube. I'm Elise Gayon Vernon, and from all of us here at News 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.